Hello, everyone. Welcome to Narain's Life with MS. This is Narain, and it's time for another episode of What MS has taught me. So, today I do want to talk about something that, I was fortunate enough and privileged enough to do, but it is definitely something that, a lot of people should really live their life by, because at the end of the day, us being human, we do seek adventure, we do seek thrills, we do seek all of these things that make us feel that our life is meaningful. Now my thought or my perception of an adventure is more or less the textbook definition of an adventure. You going out somewhere, you're physically somewhere that could have 1,001 different outcomes, but because you're on your own, on your 2 feet, doing whatever it is that you want to do, because you have the energy. And usually, of course, there are lots of things about what constitutes an adventure, but going off what at least I try to define adventure as, definitely was something that required a lot of energy, a lot of um, physical energy, a lot of physical endurance to be able to do it. And of course, when I was diagnosed, and I was 16 going on 17, I told myself that at least until I have the energy to do it, at least until I have the ability to push myself to that level, I will have adventures. All right. And this, of course, being my definition of an adventure, being somewhere where, you know, while I wasn't in, any form of danger as such, it was definitely places that were foreign to me, places that were remote, places that I probably would not think of going or even visiting. um, um, you know uh, when I don't have the energy to do all of those things. And um, like I said, I was very fortunate and privileged to be able to have those adventures, to be able to really see what all I could do, before it became a little too difficult to engage in those activities. And as a result, not only in terms of um, what I was doing as as a hobby, or as a passion, but also in terms of what I was doing for work at one point in time did involve getting into adventures that honestly did test my own limits at that point in time. um, and I'm very glad to be able to have those adventures, to actually go and just experience those situations, experience have those experiences that definitely made um, me, right. It definitely did end up um, modeling what I like to um, experience, and it definitely modeled who I was as a person. So, and this is just coming from someone um, who, if you, who at this point in time probably cannot engage in a lot of the activities that I used to do, 7, 10, 15 years back, because, I just don't have that much energy. And, something that would probably take me an hour to do, or, you know, um, let's say it's something that hurt me, because most of these experiences I did end up coming out with a bruise, a cut, or or something hurting. I probably would not have the same reaction to it, or I would probably, definitely need a lot more time to recuperate from, the said experience. So, if something like, a diagnosis like MS does end up happening, do take that as an opportunity not only to redefine what you want, um, your life to be like, right? What kind of lifestyle choices you have to make to ensure that, you're functioning as best as possible for as long as possible, but also do end up having the experiences that, might be a little out of your comfort zone. Definitely do have the experiences which make you feel like, yes, you are an adventurer. Do end up having, do end up getting hurt in the ways that, you might not be able to later in life, because, it's definitely when, um, at whatever age or stage of life that, you receive a diagnosis, as I received, um, you know there definitely, the clock definitely does start ticking on certain experiences or certain types of experiences. So definitely do have those experiences, and do know that, you know while it's great to remain positive, it's great to maintain a very healthy lifestyle, a lot of times you yourself might not know what tomorrow brings. So, with that said, um, you know, do end up taking each day, to, you know, have the have not only like a better day, like I always say, but, or I've said maybe once or twice, but, also take every opportunity you have to really, test yourself, explore, go have fun, because, there might come a time where, um, you could be too tired to have the same kind of fun. And with that said, I hope, this lesson is a little, it is positive, but, it does, um, showcase that, there is a certain point where, you kind of have to, hang up the hiking boots. There will come a time where, um, you know you might just feel that, okay, rather than, me engaging in, some form of extreme sport, something that will, maybe result in, a fewer a fewer number of pain points, can actually be, the better choice to make. um, and with that said, I mean, of course, there are definitely going to be people who are, probably have a slightly different opinion, which is absolutely fine. But, at some point in time, um, you know, there once you start making an impact on people, you'll suddenly realize that it's a lot harder to, you know, communicate any sort of negativity, if in the case, it does happen. So just look at any opportunity you get to have an adventure. um, just take any and all opportunities to have those adventures, to have that, you know to have that fun, to explore something new, to pretty much go out of your comfort zone, because you know um, because usually when you end up getting something like MS, there are certain things that just become a little um, too difficult to fathom at one point in time. So with that said, I do hope that this does help you realize what are some of the things that you might want to do, some of the things that you probably should plan to do, something that you do want to explore, because it's not that you can't have it later. It's just that when you're doing it a little later, it might just be a little a little too difficult um, to do with the same gung ho attitude as you probably have right now. So, with that said, I do want to wish you a good night. I do want to wish you sweet dreams. And of course, I will talk to you tomorrow. And yes, please do share your insights. Please do share your thoughts, your experiences about what are some of those adventurous things. What are those out of the comfort zone things that you ended up doing as a result of, um, you know, something that would happen at a later time, which um, would probably become a hurdle for you to, you know, pretty much achieve later. So yes, please do share your thoughts, do share your experiences, do share your insights. And with that said, yes, here is a good night, sweet dreams, and I will catch you tomorrow. Bye.